So, we are hosting a new veteran wide receiver for a tryout. And that veteran wide receiver is named Hakeem Butler. He had 652 yards receiving and was named the league's Offensive Player of the Year in the UFL. And now we have a chance to see if he can be a Bengal and sign to the 90-man roster. Who is this guy? Well, let's talk about it. By the way, little side note here. Played 2 seasons with J.J. McCarron and the St. Louis Battlehawks. So just saying, he has played with a part of the Bengals with A.J. McCarron. So shout out to that fact that he actually did play with A.J. McCarron. But this guy was actually in the NFL at one point. Didn't really go far in the NFL. He was drafted in the 4th round by the Cardinals. They tried to convert him to a tight end position. Didn't work out. Ended up going on IR for the whole entire season. They activated him in February of 2020. Then he did not make the 53-man roster. He got a tryout 3 days later. Ends up on the Carolina Panthers. And then gets released from the Carolina Panthers practice squad. Then he goes over to the Philadelphia Eagles. This would be where he actually has 2 games in the NFL he played, where he had 1 total target and has not touched the football outside of that. So he did technically play in the NFL for 1 total target and 2 games. So shout out to him for that. Then he goes to the Pittsburgh Steelers and he gets hurt. He got waived because he got hurt. They tried him at tight end. They tried him at wide receiver. He gets hurt. And then he went back to the IR and then got cut. So dealing with injury concerns, going from the IR, off the IR, back to the IR, definitely not, something you want to see. This was back in 23, which was obviously last year. He's 28 years old, so that's definitely not going to help him out. Usually when a wide receiver is around 28, 29, 30, when it comes to them already having injury concerns, it's not usually a positive thing when it comes to them being able to get through them and not have reoccurring problems. Again, shout out to the fact that he's doing very well in the UFL. I don't think a couple things. Here's what I'll say, right? Number one, I don't think he'll make the 53-man roster no matter what, because I think we're going to keep 6 receivers. And the 3 spots that would be available are Jermaine Burton, he's making the roster. Yoshi, he's making the roster. And Chuck Sizzle, he's making the roster. So he wouldn't be able to make our 53-man roster. Even if we wanted to keep him, in all honesty, I think we're going to keep a lot more players at the offensive line position to get a little bit more depth to that position. So I don't think we would go after him in that context. Now, when it comes to, what about a 90-man roster? Yeah, I mean, it's always a possibility. He could compete for the practice squad. But I don't really think he would want to go in the practice squad, as he is clearly having a pretty successful run in the UFL. So this is probably, if anything, is going to be the fact that he knows Joe Burrow is playing in the preseason a little bit. And outside Joe Burrow, we have Jake Browning. And Jake Browning's actually a startable quarterback. So if Jake Browning, if he plays some of the preseason with us, and he plays with Jake Browning, and Jake Browning makes him look good, and he catches some passes, maybe he will wind his way back up on a 53-man roster somewhere else. Maybe a team will see him, be interested, and go after him. So I think that's really what this is it's not 100% that he wants to be a Bengal. I think it's kind of like an opportunity. It's an opportunity for him to be able to play, in process, probably not with Joe Burrow, but process with Jake Browning to look good, put some tape out there. He's already clearly, successful in the UFL. So now get some NFL tape out there, look good, kind of, get a name out there again. People get interested in him, and potentially, a team throws a string and goes, hey, maybe we want to see how good you are, right? So I think that's what this is. I'm sure he does want to sign with us, for that said reason. And if that's the case, then more power to him, you know? Maybe a team will see him do good in preseason with Jake Browning and say, wow, we really want this guy. And he'll get an NFL contract and potentially maybe get some money and play for a year for a team and be very successful. So at the end of the day, it's a signing that really isn't going to impact us long term. It's more or less just, hey, maybe this guy could do something and potentially, you know, help him out, I guess. I don't know. It's not really a big deal. Again, like I said, he's a very, very long shot to ever make the 53-man roster. Doubt he ever will, but kind of cool. Kind of cool. We're, you know, giving him a tryout. But I'll see you guys next one. Peace.